Okay.
Well, everybody, welcome to Friday. In the studio today, we have Gerda Mentens, and Gerda is from Belgium. She's a brand ambassador. I asked Gerda earlier about whether having questions at the last or during her presentation, and she said during the presentation is just fine. I don't know what this thing is. Trying to see if that's me or somebody else. So we can ask questions if you're on Zoom. You can ask them directly, and then on Facebook, I will just read your messages and let Gerda know. Hello, John Miglosh. So with that, please let me introduce Gerda. Gerda, welcome.
Good evening.
And Gerda, so right now you're in Belgium?
Yeah, I'm in Belgium. Yeah, in my studio.
Fantastic. And we're going to be looking at some images from your work. Is that correct?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, we're ready with the
So
slide.
why don't we start there, and then we'll ask Gerda about herself when we're done looking at the slides.
All right, I'm gonna share screen now. So we are starting with just making sure, Gerda, that our friends, our guests here won't miss following you in social media, because that's where we keep the inspiration coming. So if you could just introduce us to your social media, beginning with social media accounts, beginning with this Instagram. So
I put some paintings on my Instagram, but mostly I put them on Facebook.
Yeah, this is Gerda's Facebook account.
Yeah.
And this is also her website.
My site's also interesting. It's in 3 languages. It's in Flemish, and it's in French, and in English.
And now we're going to move on to your sample works, Gerda. And
yeah, okay.
You can just share like in 5 to 10 seconds for each of the artworks.
Yeah, okay. This is a painting I've done in my neighborhood. It's a neighborhood of nature. And I like walking there and get the inspiration of the fields. This is a monastery nearby. It's, I think, 15 kilometers from my home. And it's very peaceful place to paint. And I like the contrast of the white and the color to get into the painting. Yeah. That was one of my travels in Vietnam. I cruise with cruise ships and give lessons on cruise ships. And on the way, we saw this boat and I took a picture of it, and then I painted it at home. This is in a church. It's not in my neighborhood, but it's a place far from my home. But I love the light that gets into the church. That is a place in Antwerp. It's called Burla. It's a restaurant, and I love the light that shines on the table, also from the mirror. And that is a cafe nearby in a village near to our village. And the photo was taken in the time with Corona, so there were no people in the inside, and I thought this was very beautiful that that you can feel the emptiness of the cafe. That's in a cafe where lovely ladies drink their tea or their wine and have a chat. Okay.
There you go, John.
So for any of you on Zoom, you can ask Gerda questions directly. Gerda, when did you start painting?
Yeah, when I started painting, I was 8 years old.
Wow.
I was 8 years old. I had a teacher in my early classes, and she was a painter too. And my father took me to an exposition of her, and she drew in a book, in a little book, a friend's book, and that was my inspiration. And years later, I took a study for being a teacher in an art school, and then I developed my way of painting. Yeah, and I was an art teacher for 30 years in Antwerp.
So did you go to school also in art?
Yes. It was an art school. The students have had I think 30 hours a week. They had art, drawing and painting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, was very nice to do.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah. But 30 years after 30 years, I developed my own painting school, Don Pingo Vivo. And now I think I have in that school 60 to 70 people in 1 week. And I teach watercolor and drawing.
That's awesome. And I see you have a lot of white. It seems like a lot of white in your paintings. Is that titanium white, or is that actually the paper itself?
That's a paper. I just use white to lighten up some elements, but I don't use white to paint. No. Don't. No, I don't use white to paint. Just to some elements. But the white in the painting is the paper. Yes.
And is there a particular person in the art world that you look to learn from?
You mean nowadays or earlier days?
How about nowadays?
Nowadays, I love the work of Bob Tomanovic, and I like the work of Alvaro Castagnet. He's I know him since 2000. I met him in Leuven when I had a class with him. And then 7 years later, I contacted Anna Maria, and she was glad to have Alvaro in Belgium to teach watercolor. So I organized workshops for Alvaro in Belgium.
So when you paint, the paintings, as I look at them, convey a lot of emotion, especially the empty cafe because of the COVID. And I can kind of feel the emptiness of that. Do you paint from what you see, or do you also paint from what you're thinking in your mind? Is it realism, or is it?
I think it's both ways. I paint what I see, but I paint what I feel also. When I get into an interior or somewhere, I have to feel the warmth or the atmosphere or something is in my mind that I want to paint then. But not totally realism. That's not. No.
So Gerda, Lisa has a question. Her question is, Lisa's from New Zealand. She was wondering about the brand of paper that you use because the texture looks so very interesting.
Yeah, the paper is name is Old Holland Classic, 535 grams, and it's cellulose. Yeah. It was made especially for me because I was making a demonstration somewhere, and I loved the texture of the paper, but it was 300 grams, and that was too. It was not that many grams. And then I asked Jeff Bakker, you know him,
Yes, I do.
if he could make the paper 535 grams. And he said I can ask, and they did it. So now I'm very happy that the paper is there. Yeah.
So Gerda, if you would like to begin the demonstration, I think that's going to elicit more questions, either because usually everybody's not that quiet. So why don't we do some.
I had a question.
There you go. All right, Gabriel.
There was a little blurb in the questionnaire that you filled out, and you had put in there that you had some training, some academy training in China.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was a very short training. It was a training of 3 weeks, and we had several teachers, Chinese teachers, who taught us how to paint birds or stones or trees, and in the Chinese way of painting on the light paper of China also. And they learned us to handle the brushes like they did.
And I love that beautiful scene that you have with the chandelier. I love the delicate but confident brush.
Thank you. I don't hear you anymore.
Your beautiful painting that had the chandelier,
Yeah.
had all the beautiful, intricate but confident brushstrokes.
Yeah.
Is that all with paint, or is that also mixed media?
No. It's watercolor.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's watercolor. Yeah. Sometimes I use I'm going to just a moment. A fluid that can stay on the paper. It's a masking fluid that stays on the paper, and that can give some structure too. But I don't use it not that often. But mostly it's pure watercolor I use. Yes.
Beautiful work. Beautiful work. I'm looking forward to seeing your demonstration today.
Thank you.
So Gerda, there's two questions about your paper. One is, can you explain about your cellulose choice? And the second is from WebKey, and that is, it must be pretty absorbent. How do you manage that absorbency?
No, cellulose paper is not that absorbent. The paint stays on the paper. And then I can put some techniques to lift the color. When you use cotton paper, the paint is going into the paper and you can't lift it anymore. So therefore I use cellulose paper.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Gerda, would you like to begin?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to fix my camera now. Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
I have a question about the color selection on the dot card.
Yes.
You noticed you were quoted as saying you chose them for their balance and to give a special glow. Can you please talk a little bit about that?
Just a moment. I'm going to put my camera right now. I have to put it like this.
What?
Is it okay? Like this?
Okay, let's see. There you go. Yeah.
It's okay?
Yeah, and we'll just wait for it to focus on the paper. And
Yeah.
just like earlier, Gerda, we'd have to take
Yeah. It's okay?
I think so far. It's a little bright, maybe.
A little bright?
Yeah,
I think maybe when you put a color down, it might change. There we go.
there.
No,
The
yeah.
other way was better.
Yes, but then I have shadow on my paper. I can't do that.
Okay.
So when I mean with a glow, some atmospheres have to be more yellow or more green or more blue. So that is what I mean about the glowing of a painting. The interior of a cafe can be very yellow or very brown. So then I use some more colors that's in that kind of color.
And the balance of the colors.
The balance of the colors. When I choose all my palettes, I have had to try out the grays. So when I take orange and a blue, that it gives a really gray. And then I think the colors are balanced. There is some peace with the colors then.
Gareth,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
which do you prefer to do? Interior scenes or exterior scenes, or have you any particular preference?
Can you repeat, please?
Which type of painting do you prefer to do? Interior or exterior scenes?
Oh, that depends. That depends on the possibility. Now, winter time, when I go out or in a cafe, I think that then I paint cafes. But when I'm in summertime in the area of my village, I can paint landscapes. So it's different. I enjoy both. It depends on the time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gerda, we may have to switch on the other light. Just now, we had the other light on as well. Let's try that. And yeah, let's see if it will fix the exposure. Because
that's too blue, huh?
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, this is a lot better. Now, yeah,
Okay,
now we can
good.
see. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what you had earlier.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Can I start?
You can always start. Absolutely.
Okay, there we go. First, with my brushes. I use different brushes for one painting. And when I start a painting, I put some color in my palette again. So I have dry paint and wet paint. That I think it's very important. So now I'm starting. Okay, I start here. I'm going to wet this piece. Like that. Then I take 3 colors on my brush. It's red jasper genuine, Mars yellow, and burnt sienna. And then I'm going to paint. Wet and wet. I mostly use flat brushes. It's more easy for me to paint the right forms. Like that.
Are you painting from a photo reference?
Yeah, I will show you. This is what I'm painting. See it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Gerda, is that drawing done with graphite?
Yes, I grained it with graphite. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I always do this to get the light and the dark separately and together. So I can try to see the right place. Where the darks are going to be and the lights are going to be. Now I take some paint away. And I do this with a brush that's synthetic. To get, I like to put some paint and take the paint away.
Greta, do you like to put a very strong first layer down?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do, I like that. That gives me the right atmosphere.
Gerda, are you painting flat right now as your
Flat, it's flat, yeah, flat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I take some lavender here. There are some glasses on the bar. And then in Belgium, they always drink duvel, you know? Duvel. You know the beer?
No.
No!
No.
Oh my goodness.
I do.
It's a duvel. It's a very nice beer for men.
Gerda, do you ever paint at an angle or do you always paint flat?
When I go outside, I have my easel, and then it's not that flat. No. Okay. Now, if I have to look at the angle here in the this is dry. I put it on dry paper because it needs to be very dark here. Very dry brush strokes. Like that.
Is that the neutral tint?
No, it's in Dentrona. I don't know how to say it in English.
Indanthrone blue?
Yeah. And burnt sienna.
Gerda, is it difficult to paint vertically with cellulose paper?
It's difficult to do what?
To paint vertically on cellulose paper?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
So Karen, can you, actually you're in Zoom, can you ask Gerda that directly?
Sure. When you're painting on your easel outside, does the cellulose paper make it any more difficult to paint?
Oh, no. no, 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 not at all. No,
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
no, it's very nice paper.
So Misha has a question or a comment. And he says, cider paper allows to lift, wash out some paint very well. It's more flexible, but it might not be as good for multi-layer. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
Thank you, Misha.
You have to be very careful to put layers on top. Yeah, you can do it, but you have to let it dry very good, and then you can work on it. But it's not that easy to put layers on it. That's true. It's not like cotton. It's totally different. But because I always put my layers in the beginning, it's not that that hard to do.
Gerda, how long does it typically take you to finish a painting before you say, I'm done?
Well, mostly 3/4 of an hour.
Oh my gosh, that's fast.
Yeah.
And how do you know when you're done? That's kind of an unfair question.
That's a good question.
It's
Very good question. When you even think of stopping, it's always too late. It's already too late. It's very dark.
So for those of you on Zoom, I asked Gerda earlier on whether it was okay to ask her questions during her painting, and she said, absolutely. I'm an instructor. I get asked questions all the time, and I'm really open to hearing those. So don't feel like you can't ask questions. Go ahead and ask questions.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Greta, do you feel that having human interaction in your painting benefits it more or less? Or do you prefer that lack of human bodies in it?
No, I like both of it. Sometimes it's nice to have people in the painting, and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the subject. But I like
a painter that I like that does interiors is it Edward Hopper?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
Nice.
His stuff's really nice, like that, very atmospheric.
Yeah. The atmosphere is very beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Gerda, Anna's asking a question, and she's saying she's not seeing you dip into your water. Are you?
I'm not using very much water, no. And I use always the same water again and again. I don't use clean water. I like the dirty water because it's like when you make soup. Understand? When you make soup,
sure.
you have all the ingredients in it. So when I make a watercolor, it has all ingredients in it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I love the immediacy of your paintings. It has such emotional content, but I noticed that you start at one corner and then gradually expand the painting. Is it difficult to get a cohesive painting? Well, obviously not for you, but for students, would it be difficult to get a cohesive painting that way?
They have to learn. They have to learn that they can do it. They can do it, but it takes time because they're not used to paint like that normally. Is that a good answer to your question?
Oh, it is very good. Does it perhaps depend on your sense of design, which I guess is something that would be developed?
Of course, it takes some time for students too to absorb the way I paint. Of course, yes.
It's spectacular.
Thank you.
So Raphael on Facebook says that the painting sings stop before it becomes silent.
Oh,
And there's some questions on here. Susan asked a question. Is there a certain time of day you prefer to paint?
no, not at all. No, I don't think so. No.
So Agnes says that you're a great instructor and she probably made the best workshop paintings under your guidance.
Oh, yes. Is she there?
Oh yeah, she's there.
Oh, great.
Agnes, do you want to say hi? You can say hi from the Zoom side. So Bill has a question from Facebook. It says, do you find the color of the yellow tape distracting so it interferes with your choice of colors you use?
Again, I didn't follow the.
Sure. So the yellow tape that you have your
Yeah.
paper, he's asking, does that in any way distract you, take your mindset away from the color?
No,
choices you may use?
no, not at all. No. This is the tape, Nippon gold tape. It's rice paper tape. See, no, it doesn't distract me. No.
It's that washi tape again.
Yes, exactly. So Belle is in Washington State. She says that she's heard the dirty water called the mother color.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
You are working on a dry paper, right?
Yeah.
Gerda, did you say you put paint from the tube onto your dry paint at the same time when you started?
Yeah. Always. Because
So you don't need so much water.
But when I paint from just dry watercolor, I can't get that much contrast. You understand? So I need to put fresh paint into my palette.
But is that partly because you use the same mother water?
You may not have heard that.
Just a moment, huh? Just a moment.
Okay.
Can you ask me this question again, please?
It's just about the fresh paint and the dry paint and your contrast. I'm just very interested in that.
Yeah. When you paint with watercolor, it's very important how you use the water against the paint. You understand what I'm saying?
I think so. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, good. Okay, table.
Gerda, what makes a good painting?
A good painting. What makes a good painting? I think when you can read the mind of the painter, then it's a good painting. You understand?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't understand.
Yeah, you have to. You have. It's very simple. When I can paint a cafe, and you can read the atmosphere in that painting, then it's a good painting. When you can read it, when the people who see at the painting, they can read the mind of the painter.
In certain contexts, it's like art is a form of communication.
Of course, that's it. That's so true. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
If it has a strong narrative and it tells you what it is, without giving you the absolute everything, then it's getting somewhere to being a good communicator.
Yeah, it's all about communication. Painting is communication, huh? It's telling a story, and when you can read the story, it's great.
Gerda, would you call yourself a tonalist?
I'm calling
Painter?
myself a colorist.
A colorist.
Yeah.
And why would you call yourself a colorist?
Because I like colors. I don't like paintings that's totally gray or totally black or. And I'm going to get out the chairs. See, they're coming.
Are you using real hair brushes or synthetics?
It's half synthetic, half sable.
Bill has a question, and it's, do you find that you choose the dimensions of your paper to fit the scene or the scene to fit the paper?
Oh, I don't mind the size of the paper. It can be for my kind of working, as I'm mostly painting with my students, I always take half a sheet that fits into my thing I take with me to go to classes. I don't like to paint bigger at this moment. So is that a good answer to the question?
I liked it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That was from Bill on Facebook.
Bill. Okay.
How do you show a sense of three-dimensional space in your art?
How do I show three-dimensional space in my art?
Well, in watercolor, for example, in landscape, it grays away as you get farther, doesn't it?
I use mostly the blues to get depth in my paintings, because you have all blues are cold except ultramarine blue. So it's not about the yellow. It's mostly about about the blue that gets me into the depth of the painting.
Right.
So Gerda, Bill,
Yeah.
so Bill asked a follow-up question. He said that the answer you gave was a very good answer, but do you ever crop your painting after you finish to
No,
make it
never.
fit? So you do
No.
not crop after you finish?
Never, never, no, no, no. It has to be like I painted it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not good.
Okay, and then Sandra has a question. Is it easier for students to learn on the largest paper or on a smaller size?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think they have to work on a small paper with big brushes.
Thank you. And so Lori and Nancy both have a similar question. I know we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Your underdrawing is in pencil graphite.
It's what?
And graphite.
Graphite, yeah.
Yes.
It's
And-
this, it's this.
Excellent.
I use this kind of this pencil because you can't take it like this. You see, this is too small. You have to put it here. You have to put it here, and then you can make big drawings. It's a
Okay.
pencil that's used by people who work in buildings.
Architects, yes.
No architects. The building people, the workmen.
Oh,
They
okay.
use it to put some signs when they have to put I can't explain in English. I'm sorry.
Cut this way,
Walls and everything.
What?
cut this way, or cut here. Builders always have pencils.
Yeah, the carpenter.
Yeah, that's
Cut
good.
here, or
Is a woodworker pencil.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It looks like a clutch pencil to me, that.
And my students use it too. They are very happy with this kind of pencils.
Gerda, do you do a study before you paint? For example, do you sketch and sketch? So no.
No, not anymore. I did it, but I don't do it anymore. No, I have it in my head. I have to I have it in my head. I can't make a sketch of it.
So Belle asked a question. She says, when you lifted off the chairs, was the background completely dry or still damp? It looks so easy.
It's all about the brush. Because when I take this kind of brush, it's half synthetic and half sable, and then I put it between my hands like this, and then I can take out, you see? I can take out the color. It's all about the brush and the technique, of course, yeah. And then I can put some new color in the whiting. So
Sandra has a question for you, and it's, do you enjoy having to show your students how to paint a specific painting many times?
I think I understand the question like this. When I teach watercolor, every group has a different painting. So I never paint the same thing, never. Is that an answer to the question?
I believe that is, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So Gerda very soon will be going on she paints on cruise ships. She gives classes. She'll be doing that very soon as well. So not only on land, but also at sea.
Yeah. And it's on the Queen Mary, the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Victoria, and people know that they can subscribe for watercolor classes. So they can buy paint on the ship, and then I'm there. Mostly the groups are 25 people in per day, so that's much for a cruise ship.
Excellent. So there's another question is, do you use all transparent colors to be able to lift out properly? I think they also want to know, do you use non-staining colors to lift?
You can take out any color, opaque or transparent, or I don't have a mix of colors that's all transparent. Most are semi transparent.
Generally, what I find with cellulose paper is that because it's mostly heavily sized, you can pull out the vast majority of paints, even those that are quite staining. That's one of the joys of painting with cellulose.
I like cellulose paper because it's the paint stays on the paper. It's not getting in. So that I like to for cellulose paper. I think cotton is also very good, but mostly it's better for wet and wet techniques.
So, Angela, welcome. Helen has a question, and below the window where the blackwash is, there's like a sparkle area. And was that, how was that created? Was that because?
This one.
Yes,
This one.
exactly. Yes.
I don't know. It's just one of these happy moments that this
Awesome.
is there. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't do it. I didn't want it. It's some things arrives, and you have to be happy with it.
That's
So
awesome.
that's nice. That's very nice.
You can catch the replay on that.
What do you think of the painting thus far?
Like it.
You like it?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Sorry. Me personally, I think it's got that vibe of a cafe. It's got that spontaneity without being overly faffy and overly detailed.
You know, when you paint a cafe or when you draw a cafe, I have to have the feeling that I want to drink something there, that I don't want to be out of the cafe. You understand? I love the atmosphere, and I have to love it, because otherwise I don't like it and I don't paint it. Okay. There we go.
I like that answer.
But it's true. It's so true. You have to like where you're going. When you don't like it, you don't draw it. You don't have the feeling that you want to stay there.
So Gerda, when you paint in your mind, do you have a focal point in mind? Like when I do photography, I always have a focal point, either a road that leads to my objective or something of that nature. Do you have the same when you paint?
Yeah. When I took this picture, you have to see like this. There is a how do you call it in English? This kind of line.
Diagonal line?
Yeah, this kind of thing. And then you put an angle of 90 degrees on this angle, and there is a focal point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always. It's a natural way of looking at picture. How much time do I still have?
10 minutes?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you've been answering a lot of questions. We've been taking up a lot of your time answering questions. You've answered them so very, very well.
I'm going to paint quicker now.
Gerda, do you love teaching?
Yeah. I love the interaction. The interaction with the students. I can learn from them too.
On top of that question, do you love teaching more than you do painting?
Yeah, that's so really you give a lot of good questions. I think it's in the middle. I like I can't miss the interaction of my students. I like my students too much to. I don't like to be all by myself in the studio. So
it's good to pass on knowledge, isn't it? It's how we progress as a society.
I like it. I like it. Please. That's the guy on the.
Once you've completed a painting, do you ever go back a day or two after and do any little bits with it?
Never.
No.
How many different brushes have you used on this painting?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Have you used all the 18 colors yet, Gerda?
No. I always choose out of my 18 colors, not I never take them all in one painting. No, can't. It's not good. It's not good.
Gerda, on these cruise ships, do you have to supply like the paints and the brushes and the paper?
On some boats I do, and on some I don't. They can buy paint on the boat itself. So
nice.
Yeah.
Gerda, did you say that it takes you less than an hour to do some paintings, or was it about an hour and 45 minutes?
No, it's mostly it takes me 3/4 of an hour.
3/4 of an hour.
Yeah. But now when I have to talk and
Oh, you're doing fabulous. You're taking so many questions. Thank you.
okay, that's nice.
I only asked because there was questions on Facebook about that. I want to make sure I got it right. Gerda, how do people find out when you'll be an onboard artist? Is that on your website?
No. No, because I never know in front where we're going. I have to wait where they ask me, so it's difficult then to put it on my website. It's very difficult.
How would people find that out? Would they just join something that you have, or?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know. No.
So Susan asks, what is the least number of paints you have ever used on a painting?
Two colors.
And which 2 colors were those?
Burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. I think I'm almost there. Just one thing.
So Lorena, that was on not too long ago. Hello, Lorena. She says, "Dear Gerda, your hand is so sure, and I'm struck by your strength. I feel that you are a brave woman. I am admired."
Wow. Oh, my evening is good. That's nice.
I would think, this is Susan, I would think you would have to contact the various cruise ships that Gerda mentioned to find out, when they would be having her on board for trips, if they're scheduled, or get on the list of being informed when they have her on the ships.
I will ask the director of the cruise ship how it works, how people can know where I am on which ship. Eh?
Yes.
That I can do. That I can do. Yeah.
Gerda, you may have already answered this, but is the paper hot pressed, cold pressed?
That's a good question, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer. Few details. White on the paper. Okay. Something in the foreground. Yeah. I think it's okay. Less is more.
This is more.
Yeah, now the paintings come together as almost a finished painting.
It's almost finished. Yeah.
It's got a feeling of, I forgot what the word is now. Like a minimum of brush strokes.
Yeah.
A deliberate feel of that. What do they call it now?
Gerda, I noticed you have two of my favorite colors, which is buff titanium and lavender.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you use those in your painting?
I use buff titanium. Now I do it to lighten up some figures. That's mostly when I use it. To not use white, but buff titanium, just off-white. You see that you can handle that.
I like the way you think.
Thank you.
Gerda, when you're finished, would you post your painting to Facebook and Instagram so everybody can see it?
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I will do it. Yeah, I think it's mostly, it's okay, I think. It's a bit of abstraction. So maybe I can put some red there. It's almost finished.
Who makes that rigger brush that you're using?
That's a needle point of Alvaro. That. Reds can help out. That's it.
Great to see it, Gerda.
Thank you.
Awesome.
A long time.
Thank you. Thank you so
very
much. Oh, thank you. Does anybody have a final question for Gerda?
I love it. It's a masterpiece.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It has a lot of feeling. I agree with Ian. It has feeling, so it conveys it without words.
And very inspiring.
Jeannie has a question, and that is, can she see the photo that you were using while you were painting?
Do I have to show it?
If you would. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gerda, very, very much. It was wonderful having you. Thank you for all the questions. I like that you asked so many questions, everyone. I think it makes it more powerful the more questions are asked. For all of you on Facebook, thank you so much as well. All of you on Zoom, thank you so much. And Gerda, thank you. Please join us again next Thursday, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Gerda. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations,
Everywhere.
Gerda. Congratulations.
Gerda.
Beautiful. Love it.